Hello everyone, Manthroll here. Welcome back to a RuneScape update video. Today there was a few things that got released. There is the Captain Deathbeard's Demise event. There's Haiti, Skoll, and Fenrir. Both of them do not have major requirements. However, it would be a good idea to have a sufficient amount of combat in order to take on a Haiti, Skoll, and Fenrir. Now, Fenrir will spawn every 15 minutes depending on the world, depends on the actual time for that. However, Skoll and Haiti will appear every so often. As you can see, I got all my rewards. If you're an Iron Man account, you do not, excuse me, you do not get bonus XP. So that is possibly a little disappointing for some of you. However, the fact that we can even get XP in general is actually pretty nice. But otherwise, as you are skilling throughout RuneScape, you can get what is called, I believe they are Phantom Doubloons. And yep, Phantom Doubloons, you can get 1,000 per day. And this will last until this week, I guess. So just this week, so basically until the next update. Deathbeard will stick around for 14s after the event, just in case you need to unlock any rewards, or if you have been unable to be on whenever the event is going on. I have some gear getting ready just in case, because I do need to go up that way anyway to the Fremennik area, which is where the Haiti, Skoll, and Fenrir do take place. But as for the event, what you have to do is go to the bottom right. There's a green silhouette of a pirate's face. And here it shows you what you can do. Shows you how many days are left, how many hours, minutes, seconds, etc. But you can only collect 1,000 doubloons per day unless you go into the shop part of it, and then you can actually just buy doubloons or extenders. So there is that option. But the options are, well, what you get from it is there is cosmetics all the way throughout. You'll get the regular captain's outfit, for 7,000, but then at 8,500, you get the Phantom Deathbeard outfit, and at 10,000 points, you get the Cannon Pet Scurvy. So there is quite a bit, but you can only get 1,000 per day, so it is worth doing. Also, if you are doing thieving or agility, you will get this pretty quick. You get an extra 20% if you're doing those. It says you can increase your event progress by handing in any phantom doubloons that you have found throughout your travels. As you progress increases throughout the event, you will only gain access to unique rewards. These rewards are only available whilst the event is active, so make sure to get them before they're gone. And so the currency earning activities are skilling, combat, daily challenges, and treasure trails. So there is ways to get the stuff. The mystery boxes will give you other items from previous pirate themed events. So there is that. However, if you're an Iron Man, you will not be able to claim those boxes, so do keep that in mind. Now, if you are a moderately low level or even low level, you will want to bring some food, and you will want to have weapons and armor, of course. If you're high level, it probably won't be too much of a big deal, but it can be for some people. Let's make sure there's no more information here. But yeah, here it does say where they are located, but I'll show you this way you guys actually know. But if you get the Haiti Paws, There's cosmetic gloves that yield a bonus, and regular XP of any combat skill that you select. Hey, Hades not near me, so I'm okay. And Skoll, his item is the... It doesn't say exactly which one it is. But once you take him down, you can get the item which... Oh, there's also a cosmetic amulet, but it's not saying exactly what it is for the item. Well, in that case, it's the paws for Haiti, which also gives you a cloak. So I believe this is actually the head, the mask, whatever you want to call it, hood. And you will get bonus XP and normal XP and agility and woodcutting. And Fenrir is down south, or southeast, near the golden tree. And his fang grants you XP and bonus XP in either herblore or summoning. And there's also more pieces to gather. There's actually a full outfit total of the hood, legs, whatever, everything. The only thing missing is a ring. Okay, so Haiti can actually appear anywhere from up here all the way pretty well south of here. Where he appears is actually kind of random, and right there he actually is, right by the Fremenic wall. So do keep that in mind. He can roam around. I have seen him even down here where those unicorns are. So that is something that is to be noted, in case you are a low level and you are not looking to get into a fight with him. See, all this takes place right near the divination spot too, so keep that in mind. This lone person over here seems to be waiting for none other than Fenrir. This is where Fenrir will actually appear. He does spawn other wolves, so do keep that in mind. They do all have a lot of hit points, so that is another thing to keep in mind. Out of all of them, Haiti is actually the easiest one. And now to go over to Skoll. Oh, while I'm actually here, as you kill them, they will drop either, well, can drop a spear and a helm. If you get the spear or the helm, there is what is called ear spear and ears helm. You can take them to her herself, and she will give you the cosmetic reward for it. Which they don't look too bad, but unfortunately you have to bring them both in order to get the reward. You can't bring just a spear and get just a spear reward. So there's some people who are up there already taking it on. I already took it down, so I don't really need to get into the combat, but I'll show you just in case, assuming they don't kill it in time. Okay, it's not dead yet. But yeah, it still has over 100,000, well, it has around the 100,000 hit points yet. And I just started. They start out with the 250,000 hit points. So that is something to keep in mind. He just does basic mage attack, unlike the other ones where they have special attacks. As you can see, the more people that are actually doing this, the easier it becomes. Because more people, well, there's more targets for him to actually hit. See, I got another spear, so I'm not really too worried about it. Fenrir just appeared to the east. Since he appeared, I'll actually show you what he's like. I figure you guys probably are curious if you guys are not familiar with this event. So I want to try to get there quickly, because I know there was at least one person there. I should be able to get there in time to help assist in the battle. And he does spawn smaller wolves too, as you can see. The smaller wolves, I believe, actually have to be defeated before you can kill him. But that is Fenrir. He does have AoE attack, obviously, which is actually really cool looking when you think about it and look at it. So if you're doing this boss, you kind of want to make sure you're not clustered together. This way, if he does do that special cluster attack, it's not too much of a big deal. Now these guys are probably all a lot higher level than me and with a lot better gear. I mean, I only have the Cult Metal, which is 1160 obsidian staff. It's from the Tizahar area. It's actually a really good staff until you actually get the boss type staffs or the dungeoneering staff, which I would actually recommend getting the dungeoneering one as soon as you can. And I can, it's just I need a couple more magic levels. So now Haiti was defeated, and Skoll was defeated. Not Haiti and Skoll, but Haiti and Fenrir. And to get Skoll, you'll just follow the road west. Which Haiti might have respawned by now, but Fenrir, he is the one that it takes, well, he respawns every 15 minutes. So it all depends on, I believe, the game time itself. Skoll, he's kind of far away from everybody else. Well, from the rest compared to everything. And him, you actually have to do stuff to get him summoned. And that means, okay, these guys probably just defeated him. Or they're getting ready to. Yeah. It needs 120 logs, so they probably just defeated him. But what you need to do is there's a pyre right here, a bonfire. You need to come over, add 120 logs. And once you have all 120 logs added, Skoll will appear and you will do combat with him. Much like the other ones, you kind of don't want to stand in a big group because he actually makes like this cage type thing. And he will lock everybody in it. Otherwise you take damage. So Escape and Surge, they're very good abilities for this area if you are using EOC. If you're not using EOC, just kind of hang back and chill. Let other people take care of the problem for you as you do some hits. I know it's kind of a cheap way to do it, but if you don't have the melee capabilities yet, I would suggest doing it that way. Otherwise, that's actually it for the updates for today. I'm actually going to get out of here before because things are going to keep attacking me otherwise. And if you are low enough combat, the Fenrir wolves will attack you as well. Sorry for all the sniffing and coughing. Getting over being sick, which thankfully I had a bunch of videos recorded yesterday, so I was able to actually just upload those. And I didn't have to actually record yesterday because I was sick. Okay, but otherwise, you can trade with other players. I have seen other Iron Men try to trade. I don't know if it's actually been successful. But if you do speak to Ear and you do get this, you get normal and bonus XP for either prayer or divination, plus the cosmetic override. So it is worth doing. But it's up to you basically. Also, in other news, there is a lot of patch notes. I'll be getting those shortly. But there's Name the Shadow Gorilla competition. I will show you that, just so you can see what's going on there. Live streams this week and beyond. They said there's going to be a lot of changes to doing a lot of videos. Like they have been doing a lot of actually behind the scenes and stuff like that, which is actually not going to be happening too much this year. Here and there, for big events that are coming up, they will make videos on them. However, they want to make this the year surprises. So most time, the behind the scenes are not just going to be the month ahead videos. Now, occasionally there will be a video or a teaser or something, but there's not going to be too much. The only thing that there's actually listed for live streams and beyond this week is just Sunday, January 22nd at 2000 hours, PVM with Mod Lee. Okay, so now name my gorilla competition. What they're doing is they actually made a design for a new pet, and it is called the Shadow Gorilla. It's kind of similar, like they say, to the Shadow Drake type theme, but there he is, all three stages. You know, you got the baby form, you got the adolescent, or whatever, teenage, and then the adult. So they are looking for names for this pet, and the competition will end on Thursday, January 19th, and with the winner announced on Monday, the 23rd. So it is coming, and of course there is actually a lot for Harambe, so if you're interested in that, you know, go over to the main page. You know, it'll be right in there. I'll link the quick find code down below. But that is actually what's going on for that, so I'll just keep that up, actually. And as for patch notes for this week, there is a lot of them, as you can see. So we will try to get through this as quickly and painlessly as possible. Okay, so for the graphical patch notes, the Clan Notice Board editing interface has been overhauled to modern standards, fixing some lingering bugs in the process, including making all of the scroll bars work. The combat targeting circle no longer appears when casting bird snare, bind, snare, or entangle on imbalinks. The skin tone on Wandering West of the agility pyramid has now been corrected. Players can now view the Give Thanks emote in the Worn Equipment section of the gear interface without their avatar stretching and distorting. Umi's chat head has been updated on the player-owned ports interface. Yakomaru's quicksand sinking animation is now cleared when exiting the area. An issue with Desert Bandit chat head model has been fixed. The bank minimap icon has been removed from the Grand Tree on level 2, as the bank is on level 1. And for the US, that'll actually be the second story. It's just level 1 to them is actually our second story, and the base floor is actually just the first floor. Just cultural difference. Model gaps have been fixed in the Shadow Hunter and Shadow Demon outfits. Yanil hedge that was burrowing through the Watchtower brickwork has been trimmed. Expanded buttons will now correctly close themselves when interface are removed from display. The Falador wall no longer has a gap in it. A duplicate ladder has been removed from Draenor series sewers. A Bulwark's model seen during the relevant Fremennik saga has been updated. Moderate and Dominion Tower have been graphically updated. The moderate models for Nakras and Akthankos and Nakras Element have been updated to their new models from Jojen Amal. Moderate of Kashai's troubles have been graphically updated. Stretching issues on the High Priest face in Sophonim have been fixed. A missing chat head has been added to a dig site panner. Private quick chat now uses the correct text color. Selection of missing piping along the floor of Keldegrim has been returned. An issue that was causing certain item images to not appear in the Grand Exchange Collect interface has been fixed. Skin tones of some residents of Sophonim have been adjusted. An issue that was causing some objects to appear invisible in NXT client has been fixed. The quest start overlay on the world map has been fixed. Certain doors with the hinges on the wrong side in Catherby have been fixed. Skills, D&Ds, and minigames. And Engram's hint has been altered to refer to the thing rather than the beast. It is no longer possible to use the memory strand teleport option during combat. That's actually smart. Kind of sucks, but it's smart. That's actually something else I wanted to show you guys too. The bank chest and memorial to Guthix has been slightly moved northwest, making memory shard products no longer drops them to the floor if the player's backpack becomes full. Engrams now have a teleport option to the memorial of Guthix, which is pretty handy. Cooking Salajo now correctly requires 91 cooking instead of 92. Players now have the chance to obtain farming skill pet brains from planting crystal tree seeds and harvesting crystal tree blooms. The additional experience gained from demonic Skoll while abyss runecrafting now counts towards the chance to receive rue. A typo in Corsi's chat formerly found in Otot when inquiring about supply runs has been fixed. A quick chat option for lifetime crystal shapeshifter kills and prestige has been added. The examine on livid farm point enhancer has been updated to correctly list the produce point bonus as an additional 50%. The teleport to lodestone button on the mobilizing armies minigame interface now correctly teleports to Uglug instead of Dranor. Bloodvelds are now all melee based and weak to fire spells. That's actually very useful. I fight those a lot because of Slayer. I was getting tired of using range. Smithing Dragonfire Shields. Oh, they just uploaded a patch notes video. Theirs is just a very quick, short summary though. Smithing Dragonfire Shields now uses the production interface with its own drop-down selection at anvils. The White Tree Chute now has a left-clicked water option. The Invention Skill Guide now lists the correct components needed for the Auto Sanctifier, Electrified Box Traps, and BANK standards. Players can no longer disassemble and equip the same item. Players now need 90 dungeoneering to be able to do the Rush of Gold Blood Challenge. Now to be able to do the Gold Rush of Blood Challenge. World hopping within Deathmatch minigame will now clear any overload buff gained. Players can now reach Bob Barter on Bounty Hunter World for potion decanting services. The Nightmare Gauntlets naming and placement in the Defense Skill Guide has been fixed. Quest challenges and achievements. Players who have spoken to Felipe with 200 quest points may now return to his mother Henrietta to claim a Red Dragon Wolf Juvenile or Black Dragon Wolf Juvenile with 400 quest points. This will be available as soon as 400 quest points becomes obtainable. Both may be used as overrides. The color of the surrounding map squares for Celestia Labyrinth have been adjusted to make it clear which is accessible parts of the labyrinth. Gertrude's Fishbowl in New Varrock is now easier to reclaim if it has been previously lost. Armadillo has been capitalized in the Staff of Armadillo object from the Temple of Icove quest. A cutscene during Blood Runs Deep will no longer show the miscellaneous approval rating interface. Graphical issue that occurred when trying to skip certain parts of One Piercing Note cutscenes has been fixed. Some camera issues with cutscenes in the World Wakes have been fixed. Some of the Karshai's dialogue has been changed to reference Lucian instead of Nakra. And post-quest Children of Maul dialogue has been given to Saren in the Tower of Voice. Other Ripper Demon Claws, Camel Staffs, and Wavering Crossbows can now be augmented. Healing Titans now scale to the amount of health they give based on maximum life points as Unicorn Stallions do. Additionally, both Unicorn Stallions and Healing Titans will no longer drain adrenaline. So there's a new summon there, from the sounds of it. Right click option has been added to Lumbridge combat training dummies to switch combat modes between guaranteed maximum hit mode, minimum hit mode, and normal mode for player damage. Dummies will switch back to normal after 5 minutes. The Planted Feet perk now has an effect that the duration of sunshine and swiftness is increased to 25%, but they no longer deal periodic damage to your target. This effect is not cancelled by switching weapon while Death Swiftness or Sunshine are in effect, and Planted Feet no longer affects Berserk. Augmented Telos weapons now show their correct value in the Wealth Evaluator. Telos will now drag players into melee distance when casting tendrils if they are outside the max range of their equipped weapon. Adrenaline is no longer lost when transitioning to Phase 5 of Telos. Lady Niha is now able to combine any leftover of season items players may have. This includes Cloak of Seasons, Pet of Seasons, Crown of Seasons, and Outfit of Seasons. Players can no longer walk into another cart on Tialet. Harmonious Resonance will now correctly trigger when Crystallize is cast. A missing apostrophe in Genesis chat in the Imperium Citadel has been added. Force Walk tile has been removed from the clan camp. Approaching Dilwyn from a certain angle no longer closes the dialogue box. The name of the Relekan fishmonger has been corrected to Fishmonger. Players can no longer repair the beacon climbing pegs in Berthorpe from within a nearby shop. All variants of battle robes now consistently have magic stats. Ice warriors that were inconsistently weak to air, or water, or earth are now weak to fire. Overhead information of NPCs will no longer disappear if trying to attack with a ranged weapon with invalid ammunition. The camera will no longer continue to bounce if the player dies when using Meteor Strike. The Dazzling Clover necklace now consistently consumes charges. Shadow clones spawned from the Staphysliske special attack will no longer get distracted if in range of an AoE ability. Player moderator private messages will now correctly respect the split private chat and private chat filter settings. Examine degraded gear from player-owned ports now shows the correct high alk value. A spelling error on NXT graphics settings tab has been fixed. Stanley Limelight at Soul Wars is now easier to speak to from the front. Nightmare creatures will now drop gloves substantially less frequently when not the subject of the player's current Slayer assignment. Last week hotfixes. The right dial of the World Gate has been re-added. The inventory free space check when trying to buy soul gems, Starborn diamonds, or Dungeoneering wildcards if the player has some in their backpack with a full inventory has been corrected. Force walk tiles have been removed from Valador. Thank you. A message has been added when Gothixian butterflies spawn. Thank you again. Players spawn Gothixian butterflies no longer appear to other players. Modified Diviner's headwear will now recognize players that have completed the tutorial for Memorial to Gothics and award Chronicle fragments correctly. Dungeoneering wildcards no longer affect the use of Desert Pantheon and Illumination Ores when outside Demonheim. Players with the virtual level 120 divination will now correctly receive 3,000 memory strands instead of 2,000. And now for all the... oh my goodness, there's a lot more yet to go. Ninja fixes. Players may now display the emote interface as text hiding each emote's icon. The Wilderness Abyssal Demons have migrated through the Obelisk portal to south of the Graveyard of Shadows, a multi-combat zone. The demonic skull bonus effect can now be activated by interacting with any of the activities it can give a bonus to. It must be equipped and in level 20 plus wilderness. The burrow's kill counter overlay now shows when you are above ground in the burrow's area. Various objects names that were cut short by old character limits or missing proper noun capitalization or had other issues have been adjusted. Notable mentions to mahogany flat packs, dragonhide equipment, skill capes, and ancient warrior equipment. Clicking prayers while in the quick prayers selection will no longer activate them. Players may not filter the music interface between unlocked, locked, and all music tracks. The ability to drag objects in the looting interface has been removed, as it is not possible to reorder this inventory. Paying the zombie farmer in the herblore habitat to protect plants via the right-click option now skips much more of the dialogue. Players may now receive Burnie from burning curly roots using superheat form. The loot setting interface now features a dungeoneering key loot beam toggle. Cooldown to soul split prayers audio has been added. Prawn crackers are now stackable. If they were previously in your backpack, they will be shown as individual item stacks. To fix this, bank them and re-withdraw them. The message for teleporting urns now uses commas in the XP displayed. Players may now toggle the Varrock Sewers warning message via the Doomslayer settings as long as they have entered it 6 times, as with the other warning messages. The Rubium ore mining message has been added to the spam filter. It is now possible to use surge ability in the following places: Fight Cave, Kiln, Cauldron, Sinkholes, Max Guild, Pest Control, Dominion Tower, Ascension Laboratories, inside Lego boss fight instances, Stealing Creation, Frost Dragons, Queen Black Dragon Loot Chamber, Frenesque, Nihil's Moose Paw, etc., Rush of Blood, Player in Ports, Bork, Skeletor, Roxo, and Virago instances outside of the boss fight. NXT and Engine, audio not playing correctly on some types of NPCs has been fixed. Environment particles should no longer sharply cut into the terrain. Dragging item stacks inside their player inventory while large bank tabs are open will no longer cause dramatic frame rates drop. World Gate now renders correctly on the world map. A rare audio related crash has been fixed. Incorrect interpolation in certain cutscenes has been fixed. A bug with shadow occlusion has been fixed. Certain particles that were reflecting on water despite being below the water surface has been fixed. Roofs are now removed properly with water on low, shadows on ambient, occlusion on. An error with shadows that stopped rendering certain animations has been fixed, and added fixed screen support Windows only. Now, if you played it all today, you would see there had been another update too, where there was a crash with the NXT client back and forth. So if you have not restarted your NXT client since last night, you will want to do that. I'm one of them who needs to do that. What I wanted to show you, and it was kind of a I'm dumb kind of thing. I did not realize whenever you go into this area, which I wish they would shorten this one up and expand this one, but there is an area right below your bonds where you can actually right click what is in there, and you can actually hover over it and see how much you have of what. But for like the memory strands, you actually have another option of teleport, so you can actually just click on them through your currency pouch, and it'll take you right to the Memorial of Guthix. So all you have to do if you want to get there and it's a quick teleport, just go here, and you're there. So keep that in mind. It's actually very useful. And to show you where the bank has gotten moved to, it's actually substantially farther than where it was originally. Probably because people were clicking on that instead of clicking on her, is my guess. But you can actually use this very well because right north of here is the Orits. So you can use those for the Orits. You can use those to get to quick access to the Phoenix and also the... forget the name of the town. Yeah, there's a port that's right up here too. This is where you get the monkfish. And it requires a swan song to be able to even get there too. So just keep in mind that has been all added. But if you do want a quick, easy teleport, that is a way to do it. And all it has to do is you just put it on your ones that you want to keep track of. You can scroll down to see your currency pouch, but right there is this one right here. Now it would be nice if they would have this so you could readjust it a little bit, but all things considered, pretty good. So that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.